from eating airplane parts like it's organic food, to getting eaten alive by an anaconda. Today we look at 20 men you will not believe. Paul Rosalee is one extreme daredevil that attempted to be eaten alive by a 20 feet long green anaconda in South America. Before encountering the snake, Paul wore a black armored suit and covered himself completely in pig's blood to get the anaconda's appetite going. When Paul approached the anaconda, the snake attempted to swallow Paul's head and proceeded to constrict his entire body. Before long, Paul had to be rescued by his team and failed to be fully eaten alive. Matthew and Michael Clarke once had a normal life before they started to suffer from an age-reversing disease. The two middle-aged brothers, 39 and 42, had been diagnosed with terminal leukodystrophy, a rare genetic disorder that causes a progressive loss of speech and movement. Michael is said to have an estimate mental age of a 10-year-old, and Matthew's behavior is similar to a toddler. Both brothers were forced to move back home with their parents to be looked after. A man from Vietnam named Tran Van Hay claimed to have the longest hair in the world. His hair measured at 22 feet long. He was unable to wash his hair because of how long it had gotten, so he would wrap it around a cloth. Unfortunately, he passed away at the age of 79, and his hair was never officially measured by the Guinness World Record. Tom Staniford is one of the only 8 people in the world to have MDP syndrome. This condition causes him the inability to store fat under the skin. Not only does Tom have MDP syndrome, he is also affected by type 2 diabetes and the loss of hearing. Tom was the 2011 National Paracycling Circuit race champion, and he hopes to compete in Great Britain Paralympics 2016. "63-year-old Edward Smith is one extreme car enthusiast. Edward loves cars so much that he admits to having sex with the vehicles. He claimed to have sex with over 700 cars. Edward even lost his virginity at the age of 14 to his neighbor's Volkswagen Beetle. "25-year-old Romeo Dos Santos risks losing his arms and life while he injects oil and alcohol into his biceps. Doctors told Romeo that all of his muscles in the arms were destroyed and cannot be saved. Doctors would need to amputate both of his arms. Even after being warned by doctors, Romeo continues with the needles because of his addiction to the injections. His muscles have become so solidified that he uses a special needle that are used on bulls to get his daily injections. Didi Koswar, also known as half-man half-tree, from Indonesia, has a rare skin disorder that prevents him from being able to perform simple daily tasks. Branch-like structure cover both of his hands and feet, thus giving him the nickname Tree Man. Warts cover his body from head to toe, and unfortunately even after surgery to remove them, they still grow back rapidly. Gary Turner is a man with an astonishing elastic skin that can stretch out beyond 6 inches. He holds the record for having the stretchiest skin in the world. The reason for his ability relies on his connective tissue disorder, which allows Gary's skin to pull out further than an average person's skin. Rauf Butros is the world's most pierced man with a staggering amount of 453 piercings. Rauf actually started his piercings at the age of 41. What's even more shocking is that 278 piercings are around his genital area. He has 94 piercings in and around his lips, 25 in his eyebrows, and 8 in his nose. Sam K is a jiu-jitsu wrestler who was born without an elbow. He wrestles just as hard as any other person, and maybe even more. He never requests any of his opponents to go easy on him. Instead, he would often say, "Don't go soft." Sam also leads a movement group that introduces people with similar disabilities into martial arts. Tim Cridland, also known by the nickname The Torture King. He is an American sideshow performer who is able to stick sharp objects through his body. Tim is able to do this without feeling any pain or any blood spillage from his body. From Michigan resides a gentleman named Melvin Booth, who had the longest pair of fingernails on a male's hand. His nails measured an astonishing length of 32 feet and 38 inches. The question of how he was able to perform simple daily tasks, like driving, eating, or even wiping up after going to the bathroom, was left unanswered. Melvin passed away in 2009. Jackie Bibby, a man with no fear, was a record holder for the most snakes held at one time. These were no ordinary snakes. Jackie was able to hold 11 deadly rattlesnakes by their tails for 10 seconds without being bitten. "47-year-old Kishan Valaya Ayula from South India has an impressive mouth that can swallow numerous swords at once. Kishan is a world record holder for swallowing 27 swords at once. "26-year-old Spencer Seabrook broke the world record for the longest high wire walk. The rope was 210 feet long and it hung 951 feet off the ground. Spencer had to solo the high wire walk with no support rope and nearly fell in the beginning of the walk. Subodh Kallinger is a very talented artist born without arms and legs. Despite being limbless, he is able to create amazing art by using his mouth. The 22-year-old is even able to swim for long periods of time. His dream is to raise enough money to buy a pair of bionic arms so that he can hug his mom for the love and support she has given him. 28-year-old Josh Miramont is an extreme daredevil with a high pain tolerance. Josh had a parachute hooked into his flesh, and he jumped off a 377 feet cliff. Josh claimed that the most painful part of the stunt was having the hooks pierced into the back of his flesh. Jason Hernandez holds the Guinness World Record for the largest feet in the world. His feet measures at 1 foot 4 inches and his shoe size is 26. His feet are even bigger than the tallest living man, Sultan Kosin, who has a 24 shoe size. Matthew, at the age of 30, sets a new record for the most piercings done in 8 hours. He endured over 4,500 needles that struck through his skin for 8 hours. Matthew did this to raise money for a youth charity. He said the most painful part of this process was getting the needles removed. Michel Latido was a man who set a strange record for the largest airplane eaten. Michel ate airplane parts as if it were organic food. He spent 2 years eating airplane parts, which included glass and even the airplane's engine. He died at the age of 57 from natural causes.